I found out that my sister is my biological mother. I 19M, sister 34F. My older sister, Grace, and I have had a wonderful relationship since I was a child. We were raised by wonderful adoptive parents, and she has always taken care of me. I grew up in a very warm and loving environment, but I was told that I was lucky. I was told that my sister and I had two drug-addicted parents who never cared for us. They never fed us and used to leave us at a friend's house for days while they went clubbing. When my mother was pregnant with me, she smoked and drank frequently. Thankfully, I turned out fine, and when I was born, my sister was the only one who cared for me. When I was 2 months old, they abandoned us in a mall. We got help from an elderly couple who also became our adoptive family and contacted the police, but my parents weren't at home, which appeared to be a homeless cave. We never saw them again, but after a few months in state custody, the couple who had helped us throughout the process agreed to adopt us. I still live with my adoptive parents, and she lives about 30 minutes away, so I visit her at least 3 to 4 times a week. So a few months ago, a friend suggested that I take a DNA test to learn more about my heritage, as my sister would not discuss it much. After the results came in, I discovered some pretty interesting things. I later discovered that I had an aunt, 33F, in the system. I immediately contacted her, let's call her Jenny, and we agreed to meet in person. All this happened without telling Grace anything. When we met, I noticed that we have some similar characteristics, such as the same hair color and eyes. We tried to sort things out, so I asked if she had a sibling, and she told me that when she was 12, her 14-year-old sister became pregnant while drunk with her boyfriend, and a month after giving birth, she fled with the baby after some heated arguments with their parents. They never found her and gave up searching after 2 years. I connected the dots and asked to see a photo of her, so we went to her parents' home. Her mom was not at home and her father had died 4 years ago. When I saw the photo, I knew Grace was entirely responsible for this. Grace is my mother. We were never abandoned, nor did we have nasty parents, and she lied to me and our adoptive parents about everything. I immediately hugged Jenny, told her it was too much for me right now, and asked her to keep it a secret for the time being. I drove to my best friend's house to tell him everything I found out, and I've been sleeping over there for the past few days. I told my parents and sister that I was at his house because he had purchased a new game that we had both been wanting for a long time and avoided talking to Grace much. I can't look her in the eyes right now without telling her that I know the truth. What in the world am I supposed to do? How should I handle this? Should I tell her that I know? Edit, thank you so much for your warm responses, they helped me see the situation more clearly. I've decided to tell Grace this week, but I need some time to think about how. I'm not sure if I should approach her slowly or simply break the news to her. I considered bringing her sister Jenny with me, but I honestly believe she will be furious. I'll keep updating as soon as I figure out how to tell her. Update. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for your honest comments. They really helped me sort through my feelings and prepare to confront her. So, after avoiding her for a week, I unexpectedly went to her house with a picnic basket, giving me an opportunity to talk to her. She was pleased to see me and I told her to sit down because we needed to talk. I began by saying that I know she has a secret that she has been keeping from me for years. Her face turned red and she began crying uncontrollably. She understood what I was talking about. I told her the story of the DNA test and about Jenny and basically everything. She finally told me the truth after she had calmed down. She told me about getting drunk at a party and sleeping with one of the jerks who only smoked weed every day. He didn't care about a future child and was like, yeah, whatever. Apparently, she discovered that he was stabbed in prison 11 years ago after being convicted of drug dealing, assault, and armed robbery. She told me how her mother used to persuade her father to talk her out of keeping the baby. They were constantly fighting with her. When the baby was born, they told her right away that she had brought shame to the family and that they would not help her raise the baby in any way, which meant she would have to work in the meantime to provide for her baby and sometimes for herself. After a couple of months of borrowing from her friends and juggling between working and caring for me, she had a huge fight with her parents and told them that if they are not helping financially and barely in any way, she and I are better off without them. As they sent her to her room, she escaped in the middle of the night, traveled to a neighboring country, and arrived by morning. She attempted to care for me for a few days, finding an old, abandoned house where homeless people used to visit every now and then, and taking me to the mall when I began crying. She also started crying. The couple who adopted us immediately came to our aid and asked her if we had lost our mother. Grace took the opportunity, creating a story and an alias. Police confirmed that we were not in the system for a lot of reasons. We were raised in foster care for a year and a half before the couple who assisted us decided to make the effort to adopt us so that we would not be separated. It took a couple of months and a few lawyers, but they were able to adopt us both. Grace knew her parents were looking for her. They realized this after about a day. She contacted them and informed them in a letter that she is fine and taking care of herself and me, that she is not homeless, and that she has found a nice couple to help her with her baby. She made it clear to them that she is never coming back and they should stop looking. A few months later they stopped. A few years later, her father secretly set out to find her. She was over the age of 18. After much searching, he found her and apologized. After a while, she forgave him and continued to communicate with him secretly. He had met me several times before, and I recognized him as one of Grace's old park friends. He helped us a few times, and they apparently met once every 2 months in secret. Ironically, I'm glad I got to know him before he died, even if I had no idea who he truly was. By the way, the adoptive family never found out about the whole thing. So, after hearing this, I told her that we had missed a lot by not knowing she was my mom, and that I understood she did the right thing. I pulled out an "It's a Boy" sign from the picnic basket, along with some snacks for a late baby shower, and we hugged for about an hour, had a lot of fun, watched a movie, and then I went to my parents' adoptive house for dinner. I'm glad she's my mother. For the first time in years, I feel complete. I don't mind that she lied because she did it for the greater good, and I honestly can't imagine my life right now if she hadn't. Thank you, Reddit, for helping me sort through my emotions and mentally cope with everything that happened.